Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Monday, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of the Raw Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you all the wrestling action from Monday Night Raw, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans, 1977, episode 2255. And this is May the 19th. May 19th? Oh, my. What? May 19th? Oh, no. Kane. Don't. Kane, don't. I'm just kidding. Kane's not here. Kane's not here. Oh, my gosh. Kane's not here. Whew, that was close. No, Kane's in Tennessee running things as mayor of Knox County. So we leave him at that, you know. Let him be a politician. Don't have him bother us YouTubers. Although she should have came out as some. Oh, they should have invited him. Anyways, now Kane's doing his thing, you know, aka Glenn Jacobs doing his thing, and he's a Hall of Famer as well. So, he doesn't need to do all that. But anyways. It is 10:53 p.m. I want to get this going. It's episode 2255. Pair of twos, pair of fives. Two pairs, ladies and gentlemen. Two pairs. 2 and 2. Like the late, great Chuck Lorre, man. We just got done live reacting to Monday Night Raw about 33 minutes ago. 23 minutes ago, excuse me. As you know, my good friend Jordy Scow was at the event in Greenville, South Kakalaki. And we're having a little bit of fun with that. And I'm very excited about it and everything else in between. For him being there and all that. Good stuff today. And yes, Gary, well, this is not, technically, it is a Super Mario shirt, but it's a Super Uncle shirt. It was given to me by my sister and my brother-in-law. And who we reconciled with a couple years ago on Christmas. So it was a fun, it was a great, loving experience. I'm very, very happy about that. We get to reconnect. So family reconnection is a great thing. You know, it is. I know some people have family issues out there, and you know, it is tough. But I love my family. I love my sisters. I love my brothers. I love my parents. I love the Lord. Praise God. We're ready to go. All right, let's talk about Monday Night Raw, okay? Let's talk about Monday Night Raw right now. Logan Paul, that Beavis-looking butthead, crack-headed version of Bryce Harper, comes out, runs his mouth at the Greenville crowd, aggravating everybody. But then, of all people to interrupt him, which I never thought I would say, I'd be happy to see this guy interrupt Logan Paul, Gunther. So Gunther comes out, and he says, "You're doing all this. That's pretty good. I gotta respect you. I can learn a lot from you." But he was being, and I know he's trying to stroke Logan Paul's ego, just to butter him up and just try to play mind games with him. But you take that title, it's personal to me. It's not just a business. It's personal. So I'm like, if Logan Paul beats Jey Uso, everybody's gonna be booing the heck out of him. It'll make Gunther the biggest baby face ever. And believe me, people will be chanting, Gunther. And I personally, now it's going to be tough for me to root for anyway. This is the final Raw. This is the final Raw before Saturday night's main event, mind you. It's going to be on NBC and Peacock. I'm going to have to watch it on Peacock because AEW Collision will be on my TV screen. So that's probably what I want to do. I'm going to do exactly that. I'm really excited about this. This is really, really cool. I'm really excited about this matchup, though. Like I said, if Logan Paul wins, it's probably his equal event or probably a little worse than David Arquette being the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. But might I digress? I think David Arquette has a respect for the business and a passion for it because he worked a couple of indie shows before. Meanwhile, Logan Paul doesn't care. He just, listen, he's great as a wrestler. He tries to put in the work in. Gotta respect that. But as a person, he's a total big jerk. And when Gunther says he's making it personal, and then Gunther walks away, and I'm like, good, you owned him. And then Logan Paul's jaw-jacking as usual, running his mouth. Jey Uso comes from behind him, super kicks him, and then he dresses Logan Paul. I'll see you this Saturday, and I'll see you in June 9th. One word, 4 letters, yeet, and just basically walks away. And meanwhile, they had the women's tag match, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. By the way, Io Sky was tweeting with at Rhea Ripley on X, and Rhea Ripley says, "Hey, you're good. You're good there, chipmunk." Calls her a chipmunk, which I think was really cute. But then Roxanne Perez and Julia. Roxanne was not happy because and Julia goes, "There's no we." She walks off. And as you can see, this past Friday night on SmackDown, Julia has signed on with SmackDown, while Roxanne Perez, is signed on with Monday Night Raw. So congratulations both Roxanne Perez and Julia from NXT. Julia on SmackDown, Perez on Raw. And that was really, really cool. Remember, Jey Uso then runs into Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman saying, in the long run, if you still have that title, Seth Rollins is going to take it. So... And then you got the tag team matchup, Penta and AJ Styles versus JD McDonough and Finn Balor in the Judgment Day. Carlito gets involved during the matchup, but then Penta was getting worn out, bringing El Grande Americano, a.k.a. Chad Gable. I don't care what Pat McAfee says. I don't care what Jody Scout says. I don't care what Skullduggery says. I'm sticking with the fact that that fraud, El Grande Americano, is Chad Gable. And Chad Gable is that fraud, El Grande Americano. He had put the Rock in the loaded up his mask with a little metal in his mask, and decided to headbutt Penta, and it cost them the match. And it cost Penta and AJ Styles. And that as Balor and McDonough won the match, and AJ Styles kind of looks like, what happened? And Penta was trying to explain to him what happened. Yeah, it was like Blue Blazer, Owen Hart, and back in '98. God rest Owen Hart's soul, man. I miss him. And Chad Gable's an idiot. He's an idiot. I hope someone feeds him tainted burritos like Eddie Guerrero did to the Big Show one of these days. He hates lucha libre, yet he dresses like a luchador. Come on. And he's like, I like El Grande Americano. He's a luchador, you idiot. And you're him, you idiot. That's yeah. You're El Grande Americano, you idiot. Chad Gable's an idiot, period. He's like a thank you. Whatever. Well, we'll hear more about him. Going on now, Kathy Kelly backstage interviewed the lovely Kathy Kelly. Looks very lovely, as usual. Kind of reminds me if Diana Prince and Lois Lane got their DNAs mixed up, and Diana Prince. Let's say if Linda Carter and the original Lois Lane, Margot Kidder, got their DNAs mixed up, or because Kathy Kelly, no. Linda Carter and Terry Hatcher got their DNAs mixed up. That's what Kelly. She looked nice. No, Olivia Munn. If Linda Carter and Olivia Munn's DNAs got mixed up, there's Kathy Kelly right there. And with the glasses and all, she interviewed Io Sky. And Io's, she asked Io, what's it like to meet now on the other side? What do you expect? And everything else. So I'll be ready for anybody if somebody tries to catch on me. Because I am the WWE Women's World Champion. Yay! And she does the thing. I thought it was sort of cool. But then Becky Lynch interrupts her and says, really? She said, I'm going to make my own name for myself and probably cash in on you. I'm like, Becky Lynch and Io Sky kind of run it back a little bit. That'll be great. But Becky Lynch comes out there. But then Seth Rollins talks to Logan Paul about this. If you become a champion, you're a target. So there's that. And then in the background, while Seth Rollins was talking to Logan Paul, you see the New Day talking to Grayson Waller. What is that all about? Then the women's Money in the Bank qualifier match number 2 in the triple threat. As you know, Alexa Bliss won the first one. And Becky Lynch, Roxanne Perez, and Natalya. Natalya getting off this weekend. A great matchup against Kenzie Page for the NWA Women's Championship, which is won by Kenzie Page because her sister Kylie got involved in the matchup costing Natalya. I'd be very surprised if this feud is not over with. I know, but Natalya is a whole different person. In fact, Natalya, the first time around in WWE, during her tenure in WWE, she's not wearing anything pink and black. Gotta respect that. So Natalya's trying to make a name for herself and not just make off the name of the Hart family. Not just make the name off of the Hart family. It'll bring honor to the name. But she's doing it on her own. And I've got to respect Natalya. I've always liked Natalya. I think she's very beautiful, and there's no doubt of T.J. Wilson, a.k.a. Tyson Kidd. My hat is off to you, sir, for marrying her. But I think it's going to be a very different Natalya from this point forward. And I know Natalya's trying to help out Maxine Dupree be a better wrestler as well. So there's that. Becky Lynch made a few pin attempts until Lyra Valkyria gets involved, brawls with Becky Lynch, and then Roxanne Perez took advantage of the situation. It ends up winning the matchup, and the second woman to qualify along with Alexa Bliss. Imagine Alexa Bliss and Roxanne Perez one-on-one. And that would be something. So there's that. Sami Zayn was talking to Jey Uso. He said, hey, I know CM Punk and I will take care of it Saturday. You got your deal with Logan Paul, but if you need any help tonight, we got your back. I got your back, so Jey Uso did. And then Pat McAfee and Michael Cole took a look back at Cole's match against Cena in 2012, where Cena humiliated Michael Cole. And Pat McAfee said, what's with up with tattoos and all that good stuff? And mentioned Jim Ross's barbecue sauce. You got to mention Jim Ross. He is fighting colon cancer. He's been diagnosed with colon cancer. Prayers go out to him, and prayers go out to him. I know he's been through a whole lot. He lost his wife a few years ago, and Jim Ross has been like one of the most well-respected play-by-play announcers in professional wrestling history. He's done it for the WWE for almost 3 decades there. So there's that. Adventure Time, excuse me. So also, I'll talk more about Cole and McAfee because they got a special interview with somebody coming up. Adam Pearce was talking to Akira Tozawa. Says, sure you want this match? And then Akira Tozawa says, yes, I do. Okay, since you're medically cleared, next week, you versus Rusev. And then Chad Gable and Ivy Nile interrupt Pearce and basically said, what about our qualifying matches? He said, well, I'll let you know what's going on. But he started to insult Tozawa, saying, I hope when all of our Alpha Academy falls. So, but then the New Day interrupts Chad Gable and Ivy Nile and says, hey, and they start running their mouths, talking about how they're going to win the triple threat match next week for the women, for the WWE tag team, for the World Tag Team titles. They'll defend against the Creeds and War Raiders, and then Chad Gable tells them, hey, it's going to come home to the Creeds and all that good stuff. So we shall see what happens. And then Adam Pearce kicks them all out. So you take this conversation somewhere else, I thought the poor guy needs a drink. Anyways, Sheamus versus Grayson Waller, 1-on-1. And Grayson Waller took a beating to the point where Penn beats Baldwin, got back in the ring, Bro kicks him in the face, 1, 2, 3. Finally, somebody shut up Grayson Waller. And I said this on a live reaction, that Grayson Waller is trying to be the WWE's answer to MJF. I'll tell you one thing, that makes him more of a jerk. All right, I'm well for it. But he smiles like a total geek. I'm Grayson Waller. Whatever. Somebody smack him in his smug face. That's what I would do. Meanwhile, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee were talking about, Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton. Because Jalen Brunson plays for the Knicks. Halliburton plays for the Pacers. As you know, they'll be facing each other in the ABA Eastern Conference Finals, I believe, this coming Wednesday. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee had a little side bet. If Michael Cole's Knicks lose the series, he has to he has to broadcast Monday Night Raw in a tank top. However, if the Pacers lose this series, Pat McAfee has to wear a suit. That'll be a good deal. Then they interviewed Tyrese Halliburton about the series against the Knicks and compare that to Rock Austin and everything else. So he's looking forward to that. We want Kathy Kelly about to interview Gunther. Kathy Kelly once again, like I said, she had the Lois Lane version of if she had Olivia Munn's and Linda Carter's DNA mixed up, and she's that beautiful. Then Seth Rollins interrupts Gunther, and he goes, "If you find yourself with that title, I'm coming after you." And then Gunther says, "I welcome it." And I'm like, good. Smack around. You can smack around Seth Rollins while you had it too. And then the second women's Money in the Bank qualifier matchup, the third one of overall, second one of the night, Rhea Ripley versus the returning Kairi Sane. Ahoy! And Zoe Stark, the last member standing from the Pure Fusion Collective, as you know, both Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler got released by the WWE, and but it gets worse for the PFC. The last remaining member, Zoe Stark tried to attempt a sniper missile drop kick, but she messed up as Kairi Sane slipped out of the way, and she legitimately got hurt in her right knee. And that took her out of the matchup. She was taken out of the matchup. It was a one-on-one matchup between Rhea Ripley and the returning Kairi Sane. Rhea Ripley wins the matchup to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank, joining Roxanne Perez and Alexa Bliss. So that's a fearsome threesome right there. Obviously, Zoe Stark is going to be out for over a year or something like that, or she may be done. I don't know. Rumor has it that she may have landed on her surgically repaired knee, but Doc will have to get a good look at it again, and maybe it would be unfortunate if Zoe Stark did end up either retiring or leaving, and the WWE ends up releasing her. But we shall see. And prayers go out to Zoe Stark. Hope she gets better. And unfortunately, yeah, things happen like that. I feel bad for Zoe Stark, man. Yeah, respect what she does in the ring, and it was tough to see that for sure. But in the end, Rhea Ripley does win that matchup and joins, like I said, Alexa Bliss and Roxanne Perez. So that's a big deal right there. And then Rusev responds to Akira Tozawa's challenge, saying, "You're foolish. Your adulation from the fans will be your downfall," as he will consider himself to be number one. So be on the lookout for that. Finn Balor wants to introduce and decides, to say, "I took Dom's advice. We need more numbers for the Judgment Day." So he introduced Roxanne Perez, and Roxanne Perez was gifted Dominic with chicken tenders. Carlito was gifted an apple, but then Raquel Rodriguez slaps down the apple. I think Raquel Rodriguez got a thing for Carlito, man. Let me tell you. We met her before, you better leave. Liv Morgan would hear about this, and he says, "We got the guys watching your back. We need a girl watching your back," and that could, I want to see how Liv Morgan responded to this. I'm going to find out on X right now if Liv Morgan has responded, having Roxanne Perez as part of the team. Let's find out. What graphic? So, anyways. Oh, by the way, the Red Sox won against the Mets, so I'm happy about that. Alright. Alright. Okay. what I meant to do is check on Liv Morgan's Twitter account, see if she responded to. Give me a second here, folks. Liv Morgan. All right. All right, let's see if Liv Morgan responded. Put Cheetos back in the machine, or will snip the power cables. Or I will snip the power cables. You have 1 week. Looks like she has not sent anything. Oh, wait. Anyways. He should be filming in Japan right now, excuse me. So, yep, gives him chicken tenders and gives him apples. And Raquel Rodriguez tells her to leave. If anything else, doesn't even go. So, but she's not a member of the Judgment Day, so. The main event, Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker. And Paul Heyman gets involved during the match. Seth Rollins attacks Uso. Referee caught that. And Breaker gets DQ'd. And as they both were attacking Jey Uso, here comes Sami Zayn. So Jey Uso and Seth Rollins was like, come on. But then all of a sudden, CM Punk shows up. Both teams started to brawl, leaving Jey Uso in the ring. And then Logan Paul once again with his titanium punch. Afterwards, so there's that. Yep, Sami Zayn came to Jey Uso's aid. Like I said, they were trying to face him, but then here comes CM Punk. The two brawling as Jey Uso was in the ring celebrating. He got punched in the face, titanium punched in the face by Logan Paul once again. So that is the final Raw before Saturday night's main event. Just for tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Well, that's all we got. So tomorrow we got High Rollers, and we got might be some severe weather on Thursday into Friday morning, I do believe. Anyway, 50 miles per hour winds. It could be down lines, power, If I don't have any power, I probably won't be able to do a video or anything like that of sorts. But we survived nor'easters like this before, and we had power since then. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure probably won't lose any power because I think we lost power briefly for a few minutes, and then we end up getting it back. So we'll be all right. Was it this past Saturday we lost power? Or past Thursday, Friday? I got to remember when we did lose power. I think I did delete the tweets and all that. The little delete post on it. So we'll see what happens. So you know what? Let me one more time before we go. Let's see. Let's see. The kitty. The kitty. Let's see. Let's see. Give me something. Give me something here. No. That was it. May the 9th. That was Friday. It was Friday, just past Friday. No, it was last week. It was like over a week ago. Over a couple weeks ago. May the 9th. So, yeah, weird city. Weird city it was. So, that's all the time we have on this episode 2255 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. Remember, we got High Rollers tomorrow. We got NXT. Really excited about those things, okay? So I hope you guys tune in for tomorrow. So I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, blessed day or rest of your night. Have a good night, everybody. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and Door for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.